years of human history. Are we to be taken in? Have we lost all the common sense that characterized Americans through every generation? Or do we still have the sense it takes to recognize what the Declaration says we have to see? A design for despotism. When an elite occupying seats of government power has as its express aim the trampling and destruction of the rights of the people, including their right to govern themselves. I don't see how we could have had any more clear and explicit announcement of this intention than we have had during these months that Barack Obama has been occupant of the White House. Started right away. And I'm about to mention the unmentionable issue, so if you don't want to hear about it, stop up your ears. But I was thinking a few minutes ago when we stood up to do honor to our veterans and our serving military people. You know the most important thing that the civilian population has to do for our military people to respond to what has been the extraordinary in human terms history of the integrity with which they have served and respected our institutions of self-government? We need to do them the honor of respecting them ourselves. If we're going to ask people to swear an oath of allegiance to the Constitution, if we're going to ask that they go out and they risk life and limb, that they give it all and give it all up if they have to, for the sake of the preservation of that way of life made possible by the words of our Constitution, then I think we ought to be standing up to demand that those words are respected. If blood was necessary to hold them where they are, then it seems to me that we should insist that they be honored as they are written, and yet we have done nothing wrong. And you say, what are you talking about, Alan? Well, I'm talking about the simple, clear, plain provision of the Constitution that says that to be eligible to be president, you've got to be a natural-born citizen. Hold on. Wait, let me finish. You've got to be a natural-born citizen, and you've got to be age 35. Now, I gotta tell you, unlike some folks, I have never, and I can't because I don't have the facts, say Barack Obama's not, I don't know if he's eligible. But you know what? Based on the evidence we've got, neither does anybody else. And so when we stand to honor our veterans, you know the most incredible thing that I have been seeing from a few of our military people that I think they represent the spirit of the great movement is the willingness of people like Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lincoln to stand up and with moral courage. You know, you expect physical courage from military people, but moral courage is rare in any walk. And here we have people standing forward with the moral courage to say, I cannot in good conscience continue to pretend that I have a clean chain of command when a shadow of doubt hangs over the constitutional authority of the commander-in-chief. He takes it seriously. We have laughed about it and joked about it and acted as if it didn't matter, when all the time what they are doing to us is raising it up as an emblem of the fact that the Constitution no longer governs, that its authority no longer determines the outcome, and that the document that has empowered us to have a government of, by, and for the people has already been discarded by the elites of this country. And you notice I didn't say the Democrats or the Obama faction, because I haven't noticed any moral courage from any quarter on the simple need to have an investigation and a serious authoritative determination. And frankly, I don't know how it would turn out, and I don't care because I'll accept it either way. But the fact that they don't even bother to go through the motions shows the utmost contempt for the Constitution and the people of this country. We will only end the contempt when we make it clear that we will not be cowed, we will not be silent, we will not be driven into the corner with ridicule. We will stand forward for the plain, common sense demand that that Constitution be respected, that it be respected on eligibility, that it be respected in legislative procedure, that it be respected in terms of who gets the vote and how, that it be respected in terms of the honor that is to be given to our individual rights, no matter what the challenge the government faces. If we are not once again willing to stand firm and boldly and make it clear, no pride and no promises and no material well-being will ever substitute for respect for that document for which through the generations so many have given their lives, their fortunes, and their honor. And we must do the same. So I would think we would want to start with those issues that challenge constitutional government. But tell me, if somebody is down in the basement planting sticks of dynamite and they're about to blow up the foundation of your house, and somebody tells you that the most important issue you face is the redecoration of the kitchen, are you going to listen to them? Because sometimes I forget that when I say things like, God is the foundation of our rights, I'm not making it up. I'm not stating Alan Keyes' opinion. I'm looking at the historical record. There are issues of declaration principle, issues that involve this simple challenge. Will we, as a sovereign people, in the use of our sovereignty, respect the understanding of law and justice on the basis of which we claim our sovereignty? Is that hard to understand? You can't use your sovereign authority in a way that demolishes the ground on which it stands. And if the ground on which it stands is that our rights do not come from government, they do not come from the Bill of Rights, they do not come from judges, they do not come from bureaucrats and politicians. We are endowed, all of us, every single one, by our Creator, not by our choice, but by His will. And if that is the true principle on which our freedom stands, then how can you tell me that politicians standing forward to say that we can deny the unalienable right to life of human beings in the womb are not destroying the foundations of our country? And in case you haven't noticed, I've said it for many years in pro-life speeches, but it was never going to stop there. You knew that, right? Once they got us to the point where we were denying that the unalienable right to life mattered for that child in the womb, then it became later and later. Roe versus Wade said the first 3 months, and then it became the whole 9 months, and then people started talking about partial birth abortion and the babies coming out of the womb. You know what that's all about? It's about what we've already seen. Once unalienable rights have been denied to any human being whatsoever, then they will arrogate to them the power that they are already taking in this new health care legislation to point the finger of death at any one of us they please, and our liberty is no more. Why didn't we see this coming? Why wouldn't we listen? Why wouldn't we stop the destruction of our conscience and our principle before it went this far? That's the question we need to ask, because our actions in the next several months are going to answer it. We must give priority to the issues that are a priority for the salvation of our freedom. Control of our conscience comes first, then control of our money and control of our lives. And we should never stop the battle until we have regained all three.